Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, I play video series videos I've been doing for a little while. I go over there, try food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks. I'm not going to lie. I can already tell you I'm going to like this one. It's just a thing. But it's an excuse for me to do a video and drink a thing I like. Yay! But anyway, we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer about for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside my truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means that I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. Absolutely the case today. Got off of work, got the weekend to enjoy. I'm like, woo! But I was like, I better get some supplies because, like, I won't starve. Clearly, it would take a while. But, I'd like to have some stuff to eat and just, got to maintain the physique. But, I went over there, decided to pop over into Walmart. And I was looking around, I'm always trying to keep an eye open for potential review items. And they had this available, and it's too early. It's too early for it. Way too early for it, but I don't care because it's here. What is it? What am I reviewing, folks? What are we doing? Boom, it's Starbucks. But it's not just any Starbucks. It's Starbucks Peppermint Mocha Frappuccino. Oh, look at it. Look at it. Can we get a thing? Maybe over here? Yeah, I think that's going to be a little bit better. Something like that. So, I already know I'm going to like this. In fact, last year, I went over there and I did a comparison review between the Dunkin' Donuts Thin Mint coffee and the Starbucks Peppermint Mocha Frappuccino. So I've technically already kind of reviewed this one on the channel, but this is a dedicated review. If you watch my show, you know that I love peppermint. I love mint and chocolate as a combination. It's one of my favorite combinations in anything. I love it. And I'm a big fan of the Starbucks version of it, but especially I wanted to do it this year because it's back in the glass bottles instead of those crappy plastic ones. So I'm happy about that. I wish they would just bring back the straight peppermint one. As much as, don't get me wrong, as much as I love peppermint and mocha, they used to do just a straight peppermint one. And man, do I miss that. Like, I wish that maybe alternated. 1 year do the one. Let's try a thing. It's already pretty stirred up. Oh man, you just get hit with that mint chocolate. I love it. I loves it. I mean, it's at the very least probably in my top 50 drinks. Like, I like this so much. I love mint and chocolate, man. It's a perfect combination. And Starbucks, say what you want about them. They do a really good job with it. If you want my opinion in comparison to the Thin Mint one from Dunkin' Donuts, I mean, you can go check that one out. But, man, Starbucks does a really good job with it. Because the thing is, it's all about the balance. It's all about how you make it work. And, fundamentally, like, it hits just so. Because not only do you get the mint, not only do you get the chocolate, but then, you have the actual Frappuccino, the coffee flavor kind of behind it. And it's all about having that proper balance, because if one thing outweighs the other one, or if one thing goes over there and it drops off too soon, it's just not as good of a drink. But in the case with this, man, that's just tasty. That's just tasty. You get that nice hit of mint, and then you get like a dark chocolate taste following up behind it. And, you gotta, if you're going to do mint and chocolate, you pretty much have to use dark chocolate. You know, it's like a law, a universal constant. But you get that nice kind of, you know, it's got a little bit of a bitterness to it, but then it also works with the coffee, you know, since the coffee has a little bit of a bitterness too. And it's like all these wonderful contrasting and complementary flavors, because you've got the chocolate and the mint working together, and you got sort of the sweetness of the chocolate and everything. Then you have the coffee, the Frappuccino, which definitely isn't like bitter, it's not super coffee tasting. But, you know, it's a different sort of palate, not palate. It's a different sort of, for lack of a better word, because my brain is failing me. It's a different flavor working with, you know, against everything else that's going on. So you get a little bit of a contrast. But it's just, it really, for me, I mean, it basically just takes all the best aspects of the mint, the chocolate, and the coffee. It all works extremely well together. It's not overly sweet, but it's still, you know, it feels like a little bit of a treat, you know, as a beverage. And it's, you know, it's a seasonal thing, you know. We're not going to get it, you know, I mean, it'll stick around for a while. At the time I'm doing this, by the way, we're like at the beginning of November. This is way too early for fucking Christmas drinks, but this is one of the few Christmas-related things where I'll allow it as far as, like, it coming in way too early. Christmas music, can you tell I'm tired? Christmas music can fuck the hell off. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, don't get me wrong, if you enjoy Christmas music, good for you. And I'm not trying to be, like, douchey about the season or anything, but it really, maybe, like, the last 2 weeks of December, I think that should be a thing. Up until that point, we don't need it. It definitely not in fucking November. I haven't heard it yet, to be fair. So, you know, but I know it's out there. Ugh. But no, this is really good, man. It's just, like I said, I knew I was going to like it. I've liked this thing ever since it came out a million fucking years ago now. It's just really good. I love the balance of it. It does everything I personally want a mint chocolate concoction to do. The mint's there, the chocolate's there, they're working the proper proportions, and then the vehicle upon which they are based, which is the coffee, just works really nicely. It's really good. It's a cool and refreshing coffee drink seasonal thing that I just like. I like it. I think it's fun. If I get to have my Peppermint Mocha thing, okay, I'll let you have your fucking nonsense with the Christmas music stuff, okay? Like, we'll call it neutral on that, okay? Anyway, 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Yes and yes, clearly. I mean, yeah, like I said, it's got to be in my top 50 favorite drinks. Like, I love it, man. It is one of those things where, like, pretty much every year I start looking for it, you know, I wasn't expecting to see it this early, and if I'm recommending it to people, I mean, you know, if you like peppermint and chocolate, I think this is genuinely one of the best versions, again, of that particular flavor combination. If you don't like peppermint and chocolate, I don't know what to tell you. I don't understand why you hate happiness, but, I mean, live your, you know, weird goblin troll existence or some shit, just hiding under bridges and stalking from the shadows, I guess, because clearly you were not made to live in the light like the rest of us. Oh, I say that as somebody who works nights and avoids people. So, get your digs in there. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of the day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month. Spend the rest of your folks. You go give yourselves a truly mint chocolate-tastic rest of your life, because damn it, mint chocolate is good. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. What you do, folks, you're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me, I know it. I live it. I'm out there with you in it. It's not an easy thing, folks. It's, you know, some days, man, you know, I was at work. Like I said, you know, I mentioned at the beginning of the video. And, you know, wasn't my favorite day at work. Wasn't the worst day I've ever had at work, that's for damn sure. But wasn't spectacular. You know, work's been a little bit frustrating lately. You know, just circumstances being what they are. And, you know, I'm not not always coming out of work feeling my happiest. Sometimes it's a little bit frustrating, sometimes. But at the end of the day, folks, when we do find ourselves in situations where things are stressful, frustrating, etc., take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, here's what I want you to go out and do. This is just from your buddy Brandon to you, right? Even if you are genuinely facing frustrating things in your life and stuff like that, I go over there and I have my whole little spiel at the end of the thing, don't be an asshole and all that stuff. If you feel like you gotta be an asshole, if fucking the world is really, you know what, you're allowed sometimes, man. I mean, don't take it too far, obviously. Keep that shit in check as much as you can. But, it's just a thing. But by that same token, I would challenge you, as I try to challenge myself, and I'm not always successful, try to move through it when you can. And you're not always going to be able to. Some things you just can't move through. But, something like I was talking about today, just work is frustrating and stuff like that. It's frustrating. It doesn't make me happy, and I don't like having to deal with it the way I got to deal with it. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, you know what? I got a job. A job's a job. It pays my bills. It allows me to do these videos and stuff. Try to, find a way to sort of cope with it. And if nothing else, if that doesn't work, well then, hopefully you have productive and positive coping mechanisms. For me, I listen to shitloads of music. That's how I deal with the world. But, for you, whatever it might be, I'm just rambling on at this point. But, I guess just the whole thing is, going off of that original thing that I was saying, it's when we have these things to deal with in our lives, take the time, try to decompress a little bit where you can, because we're going to make it through this, folks. It's just, sometimes it's not going to be the most fun thing in the world to do. I don't know why I went particularly heavy on this ending, but anyway, bye.